Hey, what's on guys, my name is Radical, back to the channel, welcome back to another Duel Links video. Today, we're going to be going over the new card trade update that dropped earlier this morning, so apologies for being late on this. Of course, we have the upcoming new event, the Duel Island, coming in a couple of days time, about 4 days time, so that should be really cool for getting some gems if it is using a lottery system like the previous new event type things we've had. Of course, we did have some upcoming updates. If you want to see me go over those, let me know in the comment section down below, and of course I'll try and do a video tomorrow on that. I was just a bit busy with coursework yesterday. So, this new card trade update is really interesting because it pretty much gives us more support for the box we just had, which is really nice because these cards don't really fit in with the cards they gave us in the box. And we can go over them, starting off with a super rare Archfiend Giant. So this has some really cool artwork that is like Summon Skull combined with like, it is a really cool artwork. Fiend, 2400 attack, 6-star monster. This face-up card in the field would be destroyed by a card effect. You can pay 500 life points instead. This effect can only be used once while this card is a face-up on the field. If this card is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Archfiend monster from your hand. So, first of all, it's literally a empowered Summon Skull, just with a little bit less attack, which is nice. I kind of like this more than Skull Archfiend of Lightning, just because its effect is a bit more versatile. And it's really important that it's not by your opponent's card effect, it's just by a card effect. Because in the game, we have things like Archfiend's Roar. So Archfiend's Roar lets you pay 500 life points to target one Archfiend in your graveyard, special summon it, you special summon back Archfiend Giant. Then, during the end phase, you destroy it. Now this would count as the card effect destroying the Archfiend Giant. Now you have one of two things you can do. You could either pay 500 life points to keep it on the field, which would then keep it on the field forever, you know, obviously until it gets destroyed by anything else, which is great. Or you can let it be destroyed and then special summon one other Archfiend monster from your hand. And of course, because there is no restriction, you can go into things like Archfiend Emperor, the First Lord of Horror, with 3000 attack. And then you can use this effect to banish Archfiend cards, which is absolutely insane. This is some much welcome consistency to the deck if you don't want to run some of the other, I wouldn't say worse Archfiend cards, but some of the weaker Archfiend cards. This gives you some nice, more consistency. But also you can go into Archfiend Empress. Now why I like this is because when this card is destroyed and sent from the field to the graveyard, you can select one level 6 or higher Dark Fiend type monster in your graveyard and special summon it. And that's destroyed by battle or by card effect, so you could get this Archfiend Empress destroyed in battle and then summon out an Archfiend Giant for free, and then you could kind of keep looping these two, if you feel me, if this guy keeps getting destroyed by a card effect, or if you keep using Archfiend's Roar. So Archfiend Giant becomes a much needed pillar to keep cycling through Archfiend cards in your graveyard in your hand, which is really, really nice. So yeah, really, really cool. So let's move on to the next card in the card trade, a rare Fish and Swaps. Of course, Mako did have another Fish and something else card, I believe, from these level up rewards. Discard one card to target 2 of your banished fish, seize 7 Oracle type monsters, add them to your hand. So right now I don't see this being too useful except in one main deck, and that is a deck that revolves around our good friend Frost and Flame Dragon, which you can get from Mokober. It's an ultra rare. To summon this guy, you must special summon it by banishing 1 fire and 2 water monsters from your graveyard, and most likely all water monsters are pretty much going to be fish, sea serpent, and aqua type monsters. So you can get your monsters back that you used for Frost and Flame Dragon back into your hand. There's also the added bonus that Fish and Swaps lets you discard a card. So if you're running a fish deck or a water deck, then you can use things like Fishborg Planter and Treeborn Frog as the requirements and get them in your graveyard, which is where they want to be, because obviously Treeborn Frog likes coming back to the field during the standby phases, and Fishborg Planter can special summon itself from the graveyard. So really, really nice, setting up for a bit of consistency in that deck. This is what I kind of like. Those two cards, Fish and Swaps and Archfiend Giant, both improve consistency of the decks they're in, and they don't necessarily need to be in straight Archfiends, because Archfiend Giant, Archfiend Giant does special summon one Archfiend monster from your hand, but you know, like, they don't need to be in those exact decks. Like, Fish and Swaps isn't an archetype specific thing, it just can help enhance the fish aqua theme, I guess. And finally, moving on to our last card, and that is Atlantean Attack Squad. Now, this is one of my favourite water archetypes we've ever had in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, when I was a couple of years ago, when I got back into the game a little bit, I bought like 2 of the Atlantean structure decks, and I loved that deck to bits. Passage, the Atlantean King, or whatever it's called, the big dragon thing. Oh, when that comes to Duel Links, I'm going to have so much fun playing it, because this is a really cool theme, and if they're going to keep adding Atlantean cards into the card trader, you know, like they've done with their images, they kept adding those to the card trader. If they're going to keep giving us specific themes in the card trader, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with Atlanteans being this free-to-play option, because they are really fun to play. So, Atlantean Attack Squad is level 3, 1400 attack. This card gains 800 attack while you control a face-up fish, sea serpent, or aqua-type monster other than this card. So with the Legendary Ocean, it becomes 1600, which is really good for a 3-star, but it becomes even better when you consider that you can summon it out using Hammer Shark. Hammer Shark, you can reduce the level of this card by 1 if you do special summon 1 level 3 or lower water monster from your hand. This guy then becomes a 2200 point beta, or a 2400 point if you have Yumi or Legendary Ocean, which you're pretty much going to if you're running a water deck. You're going to be running that field spell at least right now in Duel Links. And because we haven't got any of the other Atlantean cards, we can't go into all the swarming possibilities that they have. This is kind of like your signature play for getting out some really strong monsters and having a really good board presence, which then also sets you up to use Citadel Whale and use its effect from the graveyard to tribute 2 to special summon this guy, and then you can combine it with Sea Stealth Attack, and you can do all that thing, which is why I love what Konami is doing right now with this game. They're bringing out the box, they're saying, here's this box, and then they're going, hey free-to-play players, here's a ton of cards you can get to enhance the box. If you don't pull everything you need, you can put these cards in and make a pretty decent deck with it and do some different other strategies that maybe aren't as consistent, or maybe they do add some more consistency. But you don't need to go fully in with the box, or this just encourages people to go in with the box to spend more money, which obviously I don't like doing, because I've spent 25 quid in the box and I've not pulled a flipping Legendary Fisherman 2. But regardless, really cool support added today in Duel Links, and if we get more Atlanteans, then I am very, very happy, because it is, again, one of my favourite archetypes. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below of these new cards. Will you be picking any up as they come in the card trader, which obviously you should be, because you never know when the card trader is going to reset. Of course, we do have some changes to the card trader coming sometime in March. I've got 2 Archfiend Giants already, which is really nice. But apart from that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next Duel Links video. See you then.